Hi, empty nesters. I just returned from Montana, 1 o'clock this morning, and I wanted to share something with you because when I started this channel, I think one of my first, maybe it was either the first or second video that I made. I was talking about how I feel like being an empty nester was going to be really hard, and how much I miss my kids being around and spending so much of my time wishing that they were younger and that they were all back home again. And, I started reflecting on my life and how, I remember being like in my 20s and just, I had a lot of self-loathing. I hated myself. I didn't know why. I just felt like I was fat and I was ugly, and I don't know where this came from, but I just remember getting older, and I was in my 40s looking back at myself when I was in my 20s, and I was thinking, why did I hate myself so much? I was not ugly. I don't understand what the problem was. And I kept thinking, I am not going to let this mindset get to me again, where I waste all of my current time. I'm not living in the moment. And I kind of don't like that phrase because I feel like it's been overused, but it's true. Instead of going, okay, this is where my life is at. This is what it looks like. These are my options. These are my possibilities. I'm looking back going, oh my gosh, I wish my kids were little. I wish I was thinner. I wish I was younger. I wish my face wasn't looking so old. And I wish. And then I realized I'm wasting time again. And it's a constant battle to remind myself, don't waste this time. There's so many things I want to do, with my YouTube channel, with my life, things I would like to do to help other people, things I'd like to do to help my kids. And I just keep going back, going over every single mistake I made as a parent. And this is why this is happening and that's happening and whatever. And I wish I could go back and fix it or redo. And you just can't. You can't redo. And I had time these past 2 weeks. I was in Montana with my daughter. I really just reflected on my life. And what started this was my daughter went into labor and she started getting sick. And then my son-in-law started getting sick. And then my granddaughter started getting sick. And everybody around me is getting sick. So my daughter and my son-in-law went to the hospital because she needed to have the baby. And I stayed in the hotel with the baby, with the toddler, my granddaughter. And she was getting sick. And then so when the baby was born, we all went back home. And I thought, well, when we get back to the house and, my granddaughter's in bed or whatever, I can record a video. I can go outside in the morning when the snow has just fallen and it's beautiful, and that could be my backdrop, and had all these ideas how the video was going to look. And I get back there, and apparently my granddaughter had really bonded with me. She just wanted to be around me all the time. So even when she's playing and dancing in front of the TV, listening to music and stuff, I would try to sneak off in the room, and it's like she knew when I was leaving, and she would chase me, Mama, Mama, Mama. That's what she called me. So I didn't get any time to record. I think I have one recording, and I'll see if I can fit it in this video somewhere. But so I didn't get any recording done. And then it hit me, I spend so much of my time wishing that my kids were little and back home again. And I've even considered, fostering or adopting so that I can have a child in my life. I mean, that may not be the right reason for it, but I love kids. I love that they're so fun and they bring such a great energy into your life. And it's just enjoyable to have a kid around. And I know they have attitudes, but what you get from them and the joy you get in taking care of them and helping them to explore who they are, it just to me outweighs whatever attitudes they might have. But anyway, I realized if I had a child here, I would never get anything done. I would not be able to sit here right now and record and try to build this business. You know, thankfully, my other channel, the subscriber list keeps growing, even though I missed a week, and then I'm going to miss this week probably. But it made me realize, you know what, you need to appreciate where you are in life. You are in your 50s. You don't have the energy to chase around a 2-year-old. You can't build this business and raise a 2-year-old. And the thing is, I've already raised my kids. It's not like I'm putting a family off for a career, if, you know, and some people choose to do that. I had my children young. Now I'm going to start a business, you know, and they're married and have their families. There's no reason for me to want to redo that. I need to embrace where I'm at. I don't have, my mind doesn't even work the same way it did when I was younger. You know, I could, you know, take care of a child and clean and do this and do that. But it's like, as I get older, my brain functions totally different. So I just decided that I'm done looking backwards. I am done looking backwards and wishing for the impossible. I learned to just appreciate where I'm at right now. Okay, my room's a mess, but it's always a mess because I work in here and I have a lot of stuff in here. But that being aside, I love my life. I love being single. And I know that I can love being an empty nester. I have grandkids and I have kids and I can go visit them. But this is my home. This is my life. I'm teaching sewing. It's what I love to do. I've tried sewing for people, and that's totally frustrating. There's no money, and it brings more frustration on myself, me being frustrated with myself, and I can't make a living off of that. So I love teaching people how to sew. Like I said, my channel's growing. If you guys want to follow me, I'll leave a link down below. I feel like those 2 weeks away just re-energized me, cleared my head, and put me in a great frame of mind with a new perspective. So I'm as frustrated as it was to be in Montana for 2 weeks, because I live in Southern California and there's a lot of people here. You can go outside, single layer clothing, no big deal. There, I don't know if I've seen 30 people in 2 weeks, because it's so cold, everybody's inside, you know. And even in the grocery store, you don't see a lot of people. So I feel like it was life-changing, you know. Just put things into really great perspective for me. So, you know, I would just encourage you guys to analyze your situation in your life. You know, it is hard to be an empty nester, but it doesn't have to be. You go through your period where, you know, you kind of mourn that life and you know, remember all the good times you had, and then just move on. You know, I appreciate that my kids really didn't give me a lot of problems growing up. 3 of them are married and have kids. The youngest, I still homeschool. He lives with his dad, but I homeschool him every day, and he doesn't give me any problems other than just, you know, attitude or whatever. But no one's on drugs. No one's running the streets, you know, thankfully, because I go over all the mistakes I made as a parent, and I just thank God that they turned out good. So I encourage you to analyze your situation, analyze your life, find a new perspective, and you know, get a hobby. If you don't want a hobby, start a business. You know, the time is yours now. There's nothing that can hold you back now, you know, other than maybe your mindset. If you're raised that way, and I was raised that way, so I do have to battle my mindset every day. Luckily, my oldest child is my son, and he helps me with that, you know, getting out of that negative mindset. Think of all the possibilities, keep your mind there and not on all the things that can go wrong. So anyway, you guys, I'll see you in the next video. If you have any comments, leave them down in the comment box below. Like and share this video, and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.